Hey everyone, Michelle Alexandria coming at you with another video. I don't know what to do with my hands right now. I want to move my hands, but I really don't want to move my hands. What do I do with my hands? What? I don't know. So anyway, I'm in a weird mood today. It is Tuesday and we've had CES day yesterday. And I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about CES and the Sony press conference in this video. And then I want to do another video talking about the overall state of televisions based on yesterday's really disappointing press day at CES. It's just been depressing as heck. But let's talk about Sony's press conference. I want to do a quick rant video. This is sort of a rant video, but not really. As I've never actually told you guys my background, but I started Eclipse 18 years ago as a LARP. So, and when we originally started, we were a video gaming website. We covered video games for 8 years. We were one of the very first video gaming websites. We were there before videogames.com, IGN, all of those. We were one of the very first. We were actually very popular at the time. So that's where I first cut my teeth in terms of this whole video gaming thing. But after 7 years of covering gaming, I got really sick of playing Madden. I got really sick of playing like 8 baseball games every night fall. So I eventually switched it over to covering movies and entertainment and other things that interested me. But while I was at covering video games, I met some folks from the Washington Post and UPI, and they got me hooked up over there where I could do freelance reporting on anything I wanted. And I wanted to do technology. So I covered technology as a freelance writer for UPI, the Associated Press, and the Washington Post. So that's why I get stuff whenever I ask for it. Usually I don't get as much stuff anymore because, it's not worth it. And I've been out of the game for a few years. But as part of that, I went to CES about 11 years in a row. I know where the bodies are, people. I know where the bodies are buried. Woo! So anyway, so with that said, that is why I was able to predict what's going to happen at this year's CES. And actually, I feel like I should talk about CES, but I really want to talk about Sony. The reason why I told you all of that is because YouTube just annoys the crap out of me as an old school, professionally trained journalist, someone who actually believes in sources. If you're going to have a source, you have to put your name on it, otherwise don't use it. I'm someone who believes in backing things up with actual facts. Don't just pour crap out of your butt. So yesterday's CES Sony press conference if you paid attention to YouTube, you would have believed that for sure Sony was going to debut the PlayStation 5. That, it was a done deal. Everyone was talking about it. My feed yesterday for CES news for the Sony press conference had about 30 videos, and all 30 of them were people talking about how the PlayStation 5 was being debuted. What's going to happen after Sony debuts the PlayStation 5 at CES? Tune in to the Sony PlayStation 5 briefing and all this other clickbait crap when Sony has never said they were going to debut the PlayStation 5. Where this rumor started, no one knows, but YouTube, and especially gaming YouTube, is just a dumpster fire because they just took one little tweet and ran with it. They did video after video. I swear there must have been 100 videos last week about the Sony PlayStation 5 announcement. People doing their little podcasts talking about it. I actually got so annoyed. I was listening to a podcast last night that I went in on the host, and I feel a little guilty because that host is one of the actual few good ones. I'm not going to mention their name because I don't want to throw them under the bus, but I do want to apologize. But it was just annoying the crap out of me because they were talking about how Sony failed and how Sony should have debuted the PlayStation 5 and why they didn't. And I'm like, that was never confirmed. I was watching another video earlier where, you know, it's a 10-minute news clip previewing the Sony press conference. And they were so sure, and I think where it came from was Sony's invitation. And I never actually took a close look at the invitation. So what they said was, gaming on the invitation, this is why it's definitely going to happen, because it said technology meets entertainment meets the future. That's definitely gaming. It's nothing else. I mean, I'm sitting there going, are you people insanely stupid, or do you think your audience are stupid? Because I'm sorry, but Sony's DNA, everything Sony talks about at CES for the last 8 years has been about lens from the camera to your home. That's all Sony has ever talked about, is how Sony is a film studio. Their directors shoot their films using Sony professional cameras. Most TV content is shot using Sony professional cameras. In those cameras are metadata. So when you're filming something, that metadata goes directly into Sony cameras. Sony can then take that metadata, pop it into their processing chips, and then those processing chips can go into their TVs. That has been the story Sony has been telling for 8 freaking years. So how anyone in their right mind can sit there and take that invitation that Sony sent out and go, hey, it's entertainment, it's creativity. Entertainment meets technology. That's definitely video games, and that definitely means the PlayStation 5 is going to launch. They're going to make an announcement, at CES and everything else. You set your audiences up for disappointment with that, because it was so painfully obvious it wasn't going to happen. CES is not going to be it's not a gaming show. It never well, I won't say it never has been, because about 15 before E3, CES was a gaming technology show, but E3 spawned from CES. So no, most gaming journalists are not going to CES. It's not a show for gamers. It really isn't. It hasn't been for about 15 years. So I don't know why people would think Sony, that would be a good place to debut, for Sony to debut the PlayStation 5. I don't know why people thought that. So then once it proved that everyone was proved wrong, I made the mistake of watching some videos earlier today before I went to work, and the narrative became, oh, why didn't Sony do it? Why is Sony scared to show off the PlayStation 5? I don't understand. Instead of just admitting that they were wrong, they twist the narrative to make it seem like Sony is scared to show off the PS5. And again, I'm not a fangirl. As you all know, I hate Sony products. I really do. And I don't even own a Microsoft Xbox anymore, so I just own a PlayStation 4 Pro. But I hardly game because of my old woman hands. But yeah, so then the narrative gets twisted, and some YouTubers were saying, why haven't Sony commented on this whole teraflop thing? Everyone's saying it's 9.2. Why isn't Sony denying it? And I'm like, why should any company come out and deny a rumor, a made-up rumor that someone pulled out of their ass? Why? All that does is give credence to the rumor, and then all of a sudden everyone is going to go, instead of admitting that they were wrong again, they're going to go, hey, there must be something to this. If Sony denied it, they did that with the Nintendo Switch Pro, where for 2 years everyone was talking about the Nintendo Switch Pro, and then the narrative became, why is Nintendo denying the fact that there's a Nintendo Switch Pro? And they spent 2 years hyping up this Nintendo Switch Pro, and when Nintendo finally did say something about it, everyone was like, oh, it must be true, because Nintendo wouldn't lie. No, the company must be lying, because, YouTubers, no, they would never lie. They would never make stuff up. No, they would never do that for clicks. No, it must be the company that lies. So yeah, stuff like this is really starting to irritate the crap out of me. And watch what happens as we lead up to Game Developers Conference, GD's E3, and these upcoming announcements, because each company is going to have a briefing prior, official console unveiling prior to E3. So that's going to happen probably in March and April. I think both companies probably have to have something so that they could spend E3 talking about the games. They're not going to unveil the conference. They're not going to unveil the console, the price, and the games during the same show. So they have to do a console unveiling event, probably like a 2-hour event, sometime in March or April, and then leading into E3. And then at E3, just focus solely on the game, open up the pre-orders. That's how this is going to go. I don't know why all these so-called gaming YouTube experts think they could force Sony and Microsoft to do things on their timetable by pushing all these false narratives or false rumors. But watch. For the last 4 or 5 years, every single E3 has played out the same way. Everyone claims they had the full rundown of Nintendo's E3 and Microsoft's E3 and Sony's E3. Well, actually, they never claimed they had a rundown of Sony's E3, but it's always Microsoft's E3, and they always mention the same damn game. So they always mention Perfect Dark. There's going to be a brand new Perfect Dark unveiled. There's going to be a brand new Fable. Ooh, Fable's coming. Ooh. And then they do Forza, because that's a safe choice. And then so the three usual suspects is they say there's going to be a brand new Forza, there's going to be a brand new Perfect Dark, there's going to be a brand new Conker's Bad Fur Day, and then there's going to be a brand new Killer Instinct. So those are normally the top 5 that are always on these rumor lists where, hey, and some jagoff would post it on 4chan or something, and then everyone will just run with it, and it becomes the narrative that this is definitely what's going to be shown at Microsoft's press briefing. And then when it's not shown, then everyone's, oh, it wasn't there. Why didn't Microsoft show it? Why won't they show it? We all know this game is going to happen. We all know they're making a Fable game. And I'm sitting there going, do we really know that? I mean, really, do we really know for a fact that they're making a Fable game? Just because there's some quote-unquote smoke that YouTubers made up, that doesn't mean there's a Fable game until the company officially confirms it. And that's what I want to caution all of you guys to start doing. Using your heads. Don't just listen to all these people blabber on and speculate about nothing, because they are just taking crap that they see on Twitter or 4chan and turning that into 8 hours of weekly program shows and all of a sudden all this stuff becomes fat, and then you tune into these briefings, and when it doesn't show up, you all just get all upset at the company for not, making your fan fiction true. And I may have to do a Star Wars rant at some point too. That reminds me, because I loved Rise of the Jedi, or The Last Skywalker, or whatever it's called. I love that movie. So I just wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about that, and just for you guys to start watching and listening to this stuff with a more critical eye, because you all claim you don't trust mainstream media, probably because YouTubers have told you we're the only ones you can trust. You can't trust mainstream media. But if you're not going to trust mainstream media, definitely don't trust these YouTubers, because they're all lying to you for clicks. And they're either lying to you or they're playing dumb. And they're treating you like you're dumb, and you're proving yourselves to be dumb for believing in this stuff hook, line, and sinker, and then being upset at company A, B, or C for not showing stuff they never even promised they would show. The same thing happens with Batman Arkham. For the last 4 years, every single major event is like, oh, WB is going to show Batman Arkham. Look at all the tea leaves. Woo, we saw this tweet from WB, or we saw this tweet from a known leaker that, yeah, this is definitely going to happen. Or this anonymous person on 4chan said, yeah, Batman Arkham definitely debuting at, ABC event, and then it doesn't happen. And then next thing you know, you get a couple of shows about what's going on with Batman. Rocksteady didn't debut Batman. Why didn't they do it? There must be something wrong with the game. Well, that I do believe. People, but so just watch things with a more critical eye, and use your head and start using your heads a little bit more. So, and I really do wish that there was some kind of consequences to all these people kind of just blatantly lying for clicks. And honestly, I don't want to say they're lying for clicks. They actually do truly believe it, and they do truly believe that, they're just speculating based on, what everyone else is saying, and they just want to have a conversation about what ifs. But the problem is when you have a conversation about what ifs, and then there's like 50 other channels doing the exact same thing, then in the minds of people, even if you never actually said, if you've always said it was a rumor, that rumor becomes a fact in people's heads. So that's all. I just wish YouTube and YouTubers didn't chase that algorithm and try to do their own original content instead of just following up on what everyone else is talking about just to make sure they're in the algorithm. Try to go off on your own. Do your own thing. Make everyone follow you. That's always been my motto. That's why I've never tried to follow trends or talk about things that everyone else is talking about, because what's the point? I'm not going to add anything to a conversation if 50 YouTubers are talking about, God of War. What do I add to that conversation? I'd rather talk about some other game that no one's talking about instead of trying to review God of War or talking about God of War or anything else. That's just my natural inclination. I don't want to follow people. I like to be, quote unquote, a leader and be my own person. And I wish more YouTubers would feel that way instead of going, oh my God, all these people are talking about this, so let's add my opinion to the mix as though it actually really matters. It really doesn't. Your opinion would matter if you talked about something completely different or you added something different. But normally it's like a whole mob mentality or mob rule. One person hates Star Wars, next thing you know, there are 80 videos about people hating Star Wars. One person loves Mandalorian, next thing you know, there's 90 videos about people loving Mandalorian. One person talks about Baby Yoda. There's 80 videos about people talking about Baby Yoda. And honestly, I don't want to play that game. Plus, I hated Mandalorian. I really did. So anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Have a great night.